ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਇੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੀਰੀਜ਼ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਸੁਰਿੰਦਰ ਬੈਂਸ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਿ ਗਲੋਬਲੀ ਨਿਕਨੇਮ ਹੈ ਹੈਪੀ ਬੇਨਸ, ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਪਾਵਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅੱਜ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਚਰਚਾ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਉਹ ਗਲਤ ਰਾਹਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਵਾਪਸ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਈਏ। ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਂ ਬਾਪ ਦੀ ਇਹੀ ਇੱਛਾ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਸਦਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਹੋਵੇ, ਪਰ ਕਿਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਕਿਤੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੀ ਨਾਕਾਮਯਾਬੀ ਜਾਂ ਸਮਾਜ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਹੀ ਸੇਧ ਨਾ ਦੇਣੀ, ਇਹ ਕੁਝ ਕਾਰਨ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਗਲਤ ਰਾਹਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਤੁਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੁੱਖ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਰਿਤ ਹੋ ਸਕਣ ਅਤੇ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ। ਨੈਪੋਲੀਅਨ ਹਿਲ ਉਹ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਪਰਸਨਲ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਅਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ 1920s ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਲਿਆਂਦੇ ਕਿ ਸਕਸੈਸ ਹੈ ਕੀ ਹੈ। ਅੱਜ ਆਮ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਕਸੈਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਜ਼ਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਬੈਂਕ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਹੈ, ਕਿੰਨਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਘਰ ਹੈ, ਕਿੰਨਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਮਾਲ ਹੈਗਾ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਦੁਹਰਾਈਆਂ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤਾਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਇਹੀ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਕਸੈਸ ਸਿਰਫ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਹੀ ਕੇਂਦਰਿਤ ਹੈ। ਬਟ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਵਾਟ ਇਜ਼ ਸਕਸੈਸ and what are those success principles which can be adopted and our children can learn from that? Let's talk all about this with Happy Bains today. Happy ji, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much once again for inviting me.
Welcome.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much. Thanks to the audience as well.
Welcome. So first of all, when we talk about the success principles,
Yes.
Napoleon Hill is a well-known personality in this field, and he came with these principles a lot of time ago.
Yes.
And since then, it's much in vogue, and there are many other authors who have learned from him, and they have come up with these principles.
True.
So let's go through these success principles today as to what are those success principles. Because 17 success principles what Napoleon Hill talks about, and his masterpiece Think and Grow Rich, this book is a worldwide phenomena, I would say. Over 120 million copies have been published, and people are still wanting to read this book despite it was published in the 1920s. So what are those success principles he talks about? And before we delve into that, what is success according to you?
Yeah, well, that's a great introduction again, RPG. Well, this book was released in 1937, and Napoleon Hill was born in 1883, and he passed away in 1970.
Right.
He has spent over his 20 years in search of success. He interviewed more than 500 gigantic philanthropists, industrialists, inventors, and scientists, and also failure people too, to bring the success, the science of success philosophy. And many authors and later on, and they have used this all principles and they have found the success. Well, when you ask me about what success means is, I will not only measure with money, which is for me also a part, is a healthy thing. Success is something using our own brain and mind in a positive way to help others without violating rights of others and grow within.
Okay.
Something that I will call success. And that while serving others, the money is the effect. The cause, what we do is the service. The money will follow itself. If we're providing excellent service, we get excellent rewards. We provide poor service, we get poor reward.
Right.
There is nobody cheats in that too. Well, based on the 17 principle, which many thousands and millions people, gigantic philanthropists in today's date who are still alive, has been achieved a phenomenal success. And we're going to talk about that. I can share you with one of the principles in short. Now, the major one is the backbone of all the success principles, is the definite measure of purpose. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all individual achievements. Without knowing that, we cannot move ahead in our life.
Right.
We have people sees around the world, they're in the 60s and 17, but they are broke and they don't know what they wanted to do.
Right.
So major purpose, like knowing what exactly you want in your life, planning that when you want that thing, also planning that, what are you going to give in returns and all. We're going to talk a little more about that, but I'm going to share you what are the principles are.
Right.
The number one is definiteness of purpose. Number two is mastermind alliance that we can use with our family also, with our kids, in our society, and in our workplace too. Then we have applied faith, believing in ourselves, which is the most important thing. We can do that.
Okay.
Then going the extra miles. working extra for in our work, which we're gonna discuss that later too. Then the pleasing personality, how do we appear in society and family too as well. Then taking personal initiative. Do we take personal initiative after even listening this interview? What we gonna do? That's more important thing. Then there is positive mental attitude. It stands on a head. Like, if we don't have positive mental attitude, people will recognize us that what exactly going on with our, whether they wanna cooperate with us or they're gonna be shy with us.
Right.
Then there is enthusiasm, then self-discipline. That's one of the most important thing which I'll say. Accurate thinking. Like, do we think accurate or we let somebody else think for us? So we
Okay.
need to do our thinking for ourselves. Then we think about control attention. We think about teamwork, learning from the adversity and defeat. Then there is creative vision. So even the scientists and the biggest inventor they have two kind of vision. Creative thinking and synthetic thinking. We're going to discuss that also a little later too.
Okay.
Then maintenance of sound health. Our health is the most important thing. If we are physically fit, we can perform anything in the world. And then budgeting time and money, how we use our time and money in this age. And there's a cosmic habit force, which we'll discuss. So these are the 17 principles and which already successful people have achieved, learned and applied, and it works like magic. And it's been tested and proven from time and time. And I have applied in my own personal life also. It worked like every time with like a magic.
Right.
And more of my over 20 years of experience from Bollywood and my other experience from business consulting, I put it in that and I share the other principles around the world. And that's what I try to do, coaching for one-on-one and workshop and so on.
Okay. So Habiji, question is, these are great principles,
Yes.
but now the question is how to follow them and incorporate them into your daily life.
Yes.
Because we get inspired easily by some things.
Yes.
But how to keep that momentum on so that those principles which you have listened to or you have heard about,
Yes.
and especially like many of the youngsters, parents who are watching this program are listening to it.
Yes.
But now how to continue with this, we'll talk about this after this short break.
Thank you so much.
ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ courteous ਕਸਟਮਰ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਲਈ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਜ ਪਾਰਕ ਕਨਵੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਸੈਂਟਰ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ 700 ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 1200 ਵਿਅਕਤੀਆਂ ਲਈ ਬਰਥਡੇ, ਐਨੀਵਰਸਰੀ, ਬ੍ਰਾਈਡਲ ਸ਼ਾਰ, ਇੰਗੇਜਮੈਂਟ, ਵੈਡਿੰਗ ਜਾਂ ਆਫਿਸ ਪਾਰਟੀ, ਐਗਜ਼ੀਬਿਸ਼ਨਸ, ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਲਾਂਚਸ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੋਰੇਟ ਇਵੈਂਟਸ ਕਰਵਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤ ਇੰਟੀਰੀਅਰ ਤੇ ਬਿਹਤਰੀਨ ਐਮੈਨਿਟੀਜ਼, ਲਾਜਵਾਬ ਖਾਣਾ, ਫ੍ਰੈਂਡਲੀ ਸਟਾਫ, ਸਪੇਸ਼ੀਅਸ ਬੈਂਕਟ ਹਾਲ, ਖੁੱਲੀ ਪਾਰਕਿੰਗ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਮਿਲੇਗੀ ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬੈਸਟ ਪੋਸੀਬਲ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਅਗਲਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਰਾਓ। Once again, welcome back to the program. Happy Bains is sharing success secrets with us, what Napoleon Hill had propounded. And there's been a lot of difference what has been seen in the lives of people who followed these principles. Our idea today is to empower our youth. Everybody is concerned as to why our youth is not the way it should be. Statistics Canada points out that over 100,000 crimes are committed by the youth aged 12 to 17, whereas they just represent 7% of the population. What needs to be done? Why is it necessary that these success principles should be incorporated into our daily life so that our youth can be empowered? So let's talk about this with Happy Bains and learn from him the first principle, which is definiteness of purpose. What is the importance of definiteness of purpose? So what is the definiteness of purpose? How to find out that? Because the youth does not know. We have seen here the youth even goes to the university, they have completed their graduation also, and then they shift to some other thing.
Yes.
Even the things what they are passionate about, that passion just eliminates and they do not understand what to do. So how to make sure and make our children realize what is the importance of definiteness of purpose?
Well, great. Well, this is one of my favorite, and actually, this is definiteness of purpose is have a lot of case study in that and all, but I can sum up in a one sentence that is really powerful. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all individual achievements.
Okay.
All individual achievements is the starting point. Now, if we do not know our main purpose of our life, we will drift like ship without radar. And especially for the youth, I will suggest that there are 4 basic requirements for youth to move on before getting to definite purpose. They should have first good grades in school, definitely. And the key element is no drugs, no alcohol, because that slows down your memory and brain power, and which is impacts your living lifestyle and healthy lifestyle too.
Right.
And then third thing will be like, you're going to find out the one particular interest of your life, what exactly you want to become. See, at jobs, a lot of time you think I'm getting this dental benefit and all this money and this a lot of money involved in that. It is not important what are you getting at your job. It is very important what are you becoming at your job.
Right.
We need to become something in our society. We need to leave a legacy. Are we living for ourselves, or are we going to leave the legacy for our coming generation and for the community and society and the world?
Right.
For continue doing that, we need to understand number 4 is we need to stay in a line of in our education until unless we do not find our line of job or occupation.
Okay.
Do not leave, because most of the statistics again have shown that most of the youth has been dropped out from school and all, and they've been not going to school. So let's stay in the school until unless we find out what occupation we wanted to be in, until unless we find out. And once we find out that, then most of the youth, what they say after doing MBA and PhD and all, that's it, I'm done my education, let's start to work and all. They never touch the book. It's been said in North America, most of the 40% people, after they finish education, they've never touched the book.
Right.
In their 60s. That's not good. The secret itself is, once we find out what exactly line of the field we want to work in, and we got that job, but keep educating yourself. If we continue educating in ourselves in a line of our field, I will give you more strategies and ideas like how we can do that. We stand on the top 5% of the pyramid where the successful people are. When we reach our 60s, we will be the number 5% people in the world that will be recognized for what the kind of work which we have done and all.
Right.
So these are the basic principles we should do. And most importantly, I would like to say, youth should understand, first is education, second is the job or the business you want to do, third is the marriage.
Right.
So don't get in a hurry about marriage part and all. It will come with a time. It is the smartest decision we can choose to have a perfect spouse for that.
Right.
We have plenty of time. Instead of chasing, people should chase us. If we have qualities, if we have that potential, energy, physically fit, and knowledge and education, we don't need to chase anybody. The
Right.
whole world will chase us, and you will get the right spouse at time. So nowadays, what is happening? Youth is doing the backward. They said, I want freedom. Okay, freedom from what? So she drops out from the school and goes and works in some food court or some corner and construction laboring and all.
Right.
Well, till 17 and 20 age is okay, doing various job and all, but not in 30, 35 and 40. That's not a healthy sign. That's
Right.
finding the major purpose in what line of a field we wanted to be. That's more important thing. So coming back to the major purpose is, and this definite major purpose is not only for the job, not only for the youth empowerment and all. It can apply in all series. It applies in all sections
aspects of
life
life,
too.
But before we just touch that, you touched two very important points.
Yes.
One is, schooling, which is education is very important.
Yes.
Many times we find out that if the father is running some business,
Yeah.
after grade 12th, he feels that what's the need of education, Ultimately, also, even after doing his graduation, he's going to come and join my business and run that. That's the kind of feeling many parents have.
Yeah.
And this is again a matter of concern that in UBC, while our numbers are increasing in the lower mainland, the number of children from our community in UBC is going down, which shows that our thought towards education is not as prominent. You talked about reading books.
Yes.
How many homes have libraries at home, or how many libraries we have,
Yeah.
and how many times we take the opportunity of taking our children to those libraries and getting them books.
Yeah.
So these are the points, the pillars where we need to address these, because
Yes.
these are small things,
Yes.
but as you said, they make a lot of difference. But the most important thing, because right now, you talked about drugs,
Yeah.
they make you dumb and numb.
Slow down your brain.
Slow down the brain.
Brain,
But
yes.
unfortunately, the way things are happening in Canada and the way in October,
Yeah.
we're going to have legalization of marijuana also.
Yes.
What do you feel? Because many times when you discuss with children, they say,
Yeah.
no, that's not a drug, that doesn't make any difference. So with your experience and what as a success coach you feel,
Yeah.
why the children should stay away from drugs?
Well, that's a very critical point, and whatever I'm going to say is not against going politics or religious and all, which I respect every religion and politics too.
Right.
But there are hundreds and thousands of good options in vegetables.
Right.
We can improve our health with that way. Why need only that particular that crop to
Right.
eat? The universe, the ground has produced so much of the abundance of soil and good vegetables out there, good source of mineral and vitamins and all. we should indulge in that.
Right.
With staying healthy. And if we go back in a history, all the successful people, you will see they are never indulged in drugs and alcohol and all.
Right.
The successful people, dignified people in a higher bracket, if you go and do research and study, if you go in your own community, see, are they using drugs and all?
Right.
It's not a healthy sign. It's a sign of a weakness that we depend on the drugs. The dependence comes because we think that we are no good in putting our self-esteem down.
Right.
The image we carry that, oh, I'm not feeling pity on ourselves, that's not a good thing. And then we try to cover up with that to adopt drugs or alcohol or marijuana and so on thing.
Right.
If we stay physically fit and mentally fit, we don't need all these things and all.
Right.
And we can adopt this principle by taking personal initiative.
Right.
Yes, that's
So
what.
basically what you're saying is momentary pleasure can be got from these things, but ultimate happiness cannot be derived from these things, and we should stay away from that as
Yes.
much as we can, because ultimately your physical, your mental, your emotional well-being
Yes.
depends upon your own esteem.
Yes.
And to make your self-esteem better,
Yes.
you ought to indulge in much better other activities which are available today, as just to waste your time by thinking
Yeah.
that by going into this you will be happy or you will be successful.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure talking to you. We cannot continue about talking about the first principle, but
Yeah.
definitely next week we will continue with this, the definiteness of purpose,
yes.
how
And
we
intent,
can
yeah.
make our youth understand and make them realize that once they realize their potential, they need to just steadfast focus on that particular aspect and
Yes.
how that can change their life.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this in our next episode. Thank you very much for being
Thank you
here.
so much.